Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets and drama. Today I thought I'd do something a bit different and do a kind of deeper dive into one particular topic. Today I'm going to be delving into the drama involving the agency called Voss Events, who manage several of the Drag Race queens. There seems to be a lot of little known drama about this subject, so let's get into it. Who are Voss Events? So there's been quite a lot of drama between several Drag Race queens and the agency called Voss Events, but it hasn't been widely talked about or reported on. For those of you who don't know, Voss Events is a multidisciplinary creative agency that was founded by a man called Brandon Voss, who is a nightclub entrepreneur and party promoter. Voss Events is the agency that manages many of the Drag Race queens such as Aquaria, Asia O'Hara, Jada Essence Hall, Vanessa Vanjie Mateo, Rosé and Kimchi among many others. And Voss Events are quite closely connected to the Drag Race franchise. For example, according to an article by Forbes, Voss Events was first hired in 2009 to produce the crowning event for the first season of RuPaul's Drag Race. And even though the show's prize package was initially very limited due to the show's budget, a publicity contract with Voss Events was worked into the contract to benefit the winning queen. And Voss Events has continued to produce a lot of the shows for Drag Race. Most notably the Work the World Tour, which is an ongoing tour that features Drag Race queens in collaboration with VH1 and World of Wonder. But over the years, Voss Events has been the centre of a lot of controversy, which I'll go into now. Kornbread's beef with Voss Events. Please make sure you hit subscribe and ring the bell to be notified for my future videos. So many of the queens from recent seasons of Drag Race are signed with Voss Events, and we can tell that by looking at their Instagram and seeing that their contact email address for bookings is someone at Voss Events. And we can also see a list of queens that they represent on the Voss Events website. However, there seems to be a lot of drama and accusations of bad behaviour on the part of Voss Events, which have been made by a few of the Drag Race contestants. For example, Kornbread, who appeared on season 14, is one of the only queens from season 14 who is not signed with Voss Events and never has been. In April of 2022, Kornbread tweeted saying, quote, "Wake up every day thankful I'm practically representing myself and my best interest for my career. Feels good to know I'm not being cheated. Anywho, make sure you'll monitor your money, smiley face, and save," and then emojis of purses. And then fellow season 14 contestant Kerry Colby responded to Kornbread's tweet saying, quote, "Wish I could relate." And it's assumed that Kerry is implying as though she would rather not be signed with Voss Events. Kornbread also once retweeted one of Kennedy Davenport's tweets, where Kennedy announced that she had a residency with Drag Race Live, which is managed by Voss Events. Kornbread retweeted Kennedy's tweet and said, quote, "I'm only sharing this because this is the smartest decision ever. This show's about to be insane. I'm so happy for Kennedy. I said it would be a cold day on hell before I promoted anything with that man's name on it, but baby, anything for this diva." And it's assumed that when Kornbread said, quote, "anything with that man's name on it," Kornbread was referring to Brandon Voss, who is the founder of Voss Events. Brandon has been accused of bad behaviour in the past, but I'll go into that in more detail later. And it appears that Kerry Colby has since left Voss Events. In a post on Twitter, Kerry said, quote, "For any bookings or business inquiries, please reach out to Jackie at fiercelyyouentertainment.com. Thank you." And Kornbread shared Kerry's tweet with a gif that says, quote, "Another one, thank you," implying that another Drag Race queen has left Voss Events. Kornbread also once tweeted saying, quote, "Relay the message to y'all homie over there at Voss. Watch your mouth, sis. I'm not the one." There have also been rumours that the reason Kornbread was not invited back for season 15 or All Stars is because of the comments she has made about Voss Events. Although I should mention that this is just a rumour and has never been substantiated. For example, in March of 2022, Kornbread tweeted saying, quote, "My run on season 14 was nothing short of amazing. Unfortunately, I will not be returning to season 15 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Great things ahead. I love and appreciate you all for the support. Let's make magic." And she then followed this up by saying, quote, "And no, I'm not on anybody's All-Stars. Wasn't my decision, smiley face." So from that last part of the tweet, it is implied as though Kornbread was not invited to be on any future seasons of Drag Race. I also found multiple comments online saying that other season 14 queens were subtly shading Voss Events by not following them on Instagram, such as Willow Pill and Bosco. However, this of course could just be a coincidence. Make sure you check out my Patreon, where I offer exclusive member benefits such as shoutouts in my videos, chat community and sending one-to-one messages with me, and also exclusive content. Check out patreon.com/dragteaserved or use the link in the bio to sign up. I hope to see you all there and welcome you to the Drag Tea Served family. Strict contracts. One of the other issues that Voss Events has been accused of is restricting contestants by making them sign very strict contracts. This topic was further talked about by the hosts of the Race Chaser podcast, Season 4 contestant Willem and Season 5 and All Stars 2 contestant Alaska. The two of them were asked during a viewing party at Roscoe's about the strict contracts that the Drag Race queens have to sign. Willem started by saying that she and Alaska tried to book one of the pit crew members for their podcast, but World of Wonder said no. Alaska then went on to say that the newer queens are required to sign with a particular agency. It's assumed that the agency she was referring to is Voss Events, because that's the agency that pretty much all the season 14 queens are signed with. Alaska then followed this up by saying, quote, "They're not allowed to do their own tours. They're not allowed to do music unless it's approved. I think that hurts all of us. Let them put out an effing music video if they want to." Alaska also added that she can't imagine being on such a, quote, "tight leash," and then joked that the queens definitely aren't allowed to be on their podcast, which implies as though Alaska and Willem have asked queens to be on their podcast, but they were contractually not allowed. Willem then responded to this by saying, quote, "Did you hear about that song that Rosé put out and got taken down hours later?" This is referring to season 13 contestant Rosé, who posted on her Instagram in March of 2022 saying, quote, "At the Only Alaska 5000 is almost kinda like a photographer. Girls' night, music emoji, coming, ... sometime in 2022. Willem also alleged that the season 14 cast has a price list which is based on where they placed in the season. And the reason why this may cause issues is because it means that contestants who placed lower in the season would technically earn less than someone who placed higher in the season, even if they have a larger fan base. Mistreatment of queens. It's also been implied that the reason a lot of the queens don't like working with Voss Events is because they've apparently mistreated some of the queens. For example, a Twitter user shared a screenshot of an Instagram story from Vanessa Vanjie Mateo. The Instagram story is a photo of an outdoor drag event where it appears to have been heavily snowing. The user is thanking the queens for the show, saying that they were, quote, "worth the cold weather." The Twitter user who shared this Instagram story said, quote, "Imagine sending queens out on a stage to perform in nothing but high heels and a corset in this weather, ... Voss Events can relate." There were also similar tweets about unsafe working conditions at shows, for example this one saying that Vanessa Vanjie Mateo hurt herself during a show because it was raining and she slipped. And other queens have alleged that Voss forces the queens to charge a lot of money for meet and greets. For example, on Twitter, this user said, quote, "No, I literally hate Voss. We didn't even get to talk to the queens during our meet and greet, and they took one photo for almost $300. There are also rumours that Season 5 and All Stars 2 contestant Detox alleged that the queens were forced to stay in Asia to complete the tour that they were doing there for Voss Events, even though it was during the period where COVID-19 was spreading widely throughout Asia and the queens felt unsafe. And of course, a lot of this is unsubstantiated and could just be rumours, but given what Alaska and Willem said, it does seem that Voss Events doesn't have a very good reputation among the Drag Race queens as well as the fan base. Voss Events lawsuit. While I was doing research on Voss Events, I also found that there is an ongoing lawsuit against Voss Events, which was made by Chancellor Dane Benson, who is a dancer/choreographer who claims that he was fired by Voss Events. The The lawsuit was filed in August of 2020, and the case is a civil right employment discrimination lawsuit, and the outcome of the lawsuit is still pending according to the website Unicourt. The only information I could find about the lawsuit is from an article by Inner City Press. In the article, it states that Benson was a choreographer and then creative director for Voss Events. It also states that Brandon Voss, the founder of Voss Events, used, quote, racial slurs as well as other racist language. And apparently, another Voss Events employee named John Norris would, quote, also routinely grope Mr. Benson. According to the complaint, quote, Mr. Voss and Mr. Norris made it seem that their actions were permissible because many of the cast are gay and that gay men are entitled to take such liberties with each other. And apparently there was a text message that Brandon Voss sent to Benson that said, quote, reading through that book of lies is embarrassing for you. Your lawyer has a duty to fact check things before filing a frivolous lawsuit, which she didn't do. You were let go because you are an awful leader. Every dancer and artist on that tour demanded we get rid of you, ... All of them would be happy to tell anybody the problems you cause. And as I said before, the case is still ongoing and I couldn't find much information on the exact specifics of the case, so I can't guarantee the validity of any of this information. So there you go, there was an overview of some of the behind the scenes drama involving Voss Events that you may not have known about. Did you already know about this drama? And what do you think about the situation? Let me know in the comments. As usual, please make sure you subscribe to my channel if you liked this video, and if you could please like, comment or share this video, it would really help to boost the algorithm and promote my video to more people. It's a quick and easy way to show support for my channel and I'd really appreciate it. Please make sure you also follow me on Instagram where I post exclusive Did You Know fun facts, and I also post interactive quizzes and polls in my Instagram stories where you can also interact with other Drag Race queens and look at their replies. So make sure you follow me at DragTServed on Instagram for some extra content that you won't see on YouTube. Thanks for watching and I hope you'll join me again in future videos. Thank you, bye!